Hmm. Again, I am very sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I'm guessing it was whatever was causing the issues before. But we are back, and like I said, we were gonna watch a cafe's video by Emily. So, righty, let's watch it.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. More on that shortly. I swear, these 6-month cycles in between Collab Cafe compilation videos get shorter and shorter with each upload. Where has the time gone? It's May? Does it feel like 6 months to you guys? Because it sure as hell doesn't for me. And since there's a whole new batch of cafes to yap about, you know what that means. It means it's time for an ad read. Because hey, these Collab Cafes aren't cheap. So really quick, big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
This
If
addiction.
the idea of designing a website and creating invoices sounds like a pain to you like it does to me, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform. So much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and now let's head to our very first cafe.
Cafe!
Number 1, One Piece at Shibuya Parko. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that after all these cafes, I still hadn't seen a One Piece collab. Until now, of course. So for this cafe, I brought along One Piece enthusiast and frequent collab cafe victim, Manu. We ordered as much of the menu as we could, so there's quite a bit to get through. For our reservation freebies, we received a wristband with a random character charm attached to it, and also a coaster for every item we ordered. For our drinks, we ordered Brick's iced coffee, Luffy's pink grapefruit soda, and Robin's grape juice. All the drinks had little paper decorations that you could take home with you, and since it was Robin's birthday week, her drink came with an extra paper freebie.
Nice.
The first dish we tried was the straw salt ramen with mizu mizu meat. The way they recreated the iconic mizu mizu meat was by wrapping a chicken meatball in teriyaki sauce. Manu and I thought this was surprisingly pretty good. The broth was light and savory, and the meatball bag was soft and juicy. The next dish we tried was Sanji's Baratier staff meal set, which was a recreation of the fried rice at Sanji's.
Mr. Jesus back again? I don't know what that means. Alright. Coming into a stream you've never chatted in before and say stuff like that, but okay.
Served Tegin at the Baratier restaurant. And on the side, they included the soup he made for the staff. We thought the fried rice was okay, but it was a little lacking flavor-wise. The soup, on the other hand, was delicious. Next, we tried God Enel's surprise sandwich, which was a spicy taco meat sandwich with french fries, ketchup, and stretchy mashed potatoes, meant to represent Luffy's gum-gum powers. There were also mozzarella pearls for his eyeballs, which looked very unsettling when we took them off. This dish was okay. I think the sandwich could have used a bit more filling because it was like all bread. The first dessert we shared was the octopus parfait, which is Bon Clay's favorite treat. This had strawberry mousse, blue salt ice cream, sponge cake, and sweet and sour octopus tentacle jelly.
I like the octopus tentacle
being served on a rotating stand to mimic his spinning. But flavor-wise, we were not fans of this one.
Aww,
presentation was
that's
fantastic,
sad.
Though. The best dessert in this lineup was Nami's Mikan Daifuku, which was inspired by Belamir's Mandarin Orange Grove in Kokoyashi Village, where Nami grew up. This was a sliced Mandarin orange wrapped in a thin layer of mochi, and as simple as it was really refreshing and juicy, and not too sweet. The last dessert we tried was Perona's surprise cookie ice cream sandwich, which was caramel chocolate chip ice cream sandwiched between 2 thick sugar cookies.
Nice.
I don't know what to say about this one. It tasted exactly how you'd expect, and I really liked it. My personal favorite part about the dessert was the little side of tiny mochi balls and sweet and salty Pop Rocks.
Oh, that's cool.
The merch corner had a pretty decent selection of merch, with some of the more interesting items being a cafe-exclusive ramen bowl and a bowl shaped like Brooke's head. Overall, Manu and I were really impressed with how this cafe visit turned out. Every dish was a reference to a specific scene or character from the anime, and the menu seemed like it must have been so much fun to come up with. There were some pretty tasty standouts. I give the One Piece Cafe a 4.8 out of 5.
I'm not a One Piece fan,
the
so...
Jackson Hole Bar from Nana. Okay, so quick story time.
Wait, what?
When I was in middle school and getting super into shoujo manga, I picked up a little series called Nana, which follows the turbulent and dramatic lives of 2 unlikely friends and roommates.
And she was not
Nana
into it,
Nana,
if I remember correctly.
Room 707, Nana Hyaku Nana. You know, hence the series title. I actually ended up dropping the manga
Yep,
because
see,
some of
there
the
we
themes
go.
of sex, fame, and emotional turmoil were a little too intense
I don't
for
like One
11-year-old me
Piece,
to really
but I'd eat
understand
there.
and
Yeah, it looks
enjoy.
cool.
At the time, I was reading stuff like Kitchen Princess and Skip Beat.
I read
Nana
Nana
was
too.
on another
I
level
also
of
watched
mystery
Nana
that I was
show.
not used to. But a few years ago, now an adult,
I like Nana because of the music aspect as well. I've always really liked like rock music in anime. It's one of the reasons why I also really like Beck. But yeah.
woman with a fully developed prefrontal cortex, I reread the entire manga from start to
You
finish.
need to
because
finish
Dad had
Nana!
the whole set at his parents' house.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it, so long as you're okay with the fact there's no official ending and hasn't been since 2009 and quite possibly may never be. But it is very good. So in Nana, there's a bar called Jackson Hole, which the characters frequently visit in the manga, either to gossip or to eat their famous Jackson burgers. And as it turns out, this happens to be a real place in Chofu that's still standing to this day. So it's technically not a collab, and it's also not a cafe.
A cafe.
But it's such an iconic spot in the Nana universe, I
Yeah.
had to give this place a visit. All of the Jackson Hole scenes from the manga take place at the bar counter, but I didn't want to take a picture to
Wow,
there
an
while there were
anime
a
that
ton of
never
people,
got
so
finished.
here's
I
how
mean,
it
it's not
looks
just the
without
anime,
people.
it's the manga that didn't get
The
finished. There's a
interior
bunch of
the bar
animes
is
that didn't
very
get
much
finished.
Western cowboy saloon
Welcome back,
style,
Corgi.
with hints of Ayazawa's influence sprinkled in. Like this display on the floor with some signed manga volumes and a little display corner by the stairs dedicated to Nana, complete with figurines of the leading ladies.
Oh, that's so cool.
Occasionally, I would even see pairs of girls walk in dressed like Nana and Hachi, which was so cute. I, of course, had to order the bar's signature Jackson burger, which had a thick, meaty, sloppy Joe-esque sauce. And Didas ordered the premium Jackson burger, which came with bacon and a double patty. We also ordered a side of fries tossed in an aioli sauce.
Yeah, I mean, like, if
and
it gets
also a
your,
side of cucumber
like,
sticks
establishment,
with meaty miso.
if you
The
get,
burgers
like,
looked
known because
really
of a thing
good,
like
and
that,
they
I could see
came
why.
in nicely toasted buns. But how did they taste? Okay, I
No.
really wanted to like this burger, and I did
No.
like the meat sauce. The flavor of the burger itself was decent.
Okay, so Emily is also from America, where we, like, burgers are our thing, so that's probably why.
For whatever reason, our burger patties were full of gristle that was impossible to chew down, and it felt like chewing on wet tissue paper. I don't even have texture or sensory issues, but the amount of unchewable gristle that was in my patty was enough to put me off from wanting to finish it. The aioli fries were pretty good, and the sauce they were tossed in made them taste like potato salad. And even though they were super wet from all the sauce, they were somehow still a little crunchy, which I really liked. Overall,
That's good.
I'd say this bar is probably really great for vibes and a casual nighttime outing. And if you're a Nana super fan, I think it's definitely worth the trip to experience manga history. But if you're mostly looking for a good quality burger, based on our first taste of it, this is probably not the place. Maybe we came in on a bad day. I don't know. But regrettably, for now, I'm gonna have to give Jackson Hole a 2.5 out of 5.
No, that's
I'm so sorry,
sad.
Nana fans. Number 3, Yona of the Dawn at Kyaraum Cafe. Akatsuki no Yona, or Yona of the Dawn, is an incredible fantasy shoujo manga that just recently concluded its 16-year run, and also recently got announced for a season 2 of the anime. So I was super excited when this pop-up cafe was announced. So immediately, this cafe gets points for atmosphere, because when reserving, you could pick a character to sit in front of you, and they would be displayed
we definitely
on these
have
monitors
a
that were
different,
placed at each seat.
a very
So
different,
Sam and I picked our
like,
respective
seasoning
husbands
stuff.
to sit and dine
So
with us.
I get with that.
Hot
I get
Pasuwan,
that.
of course. This was the first time I'd seen a collab do something like this, and I loved the concept. I ended up ordering both the Hawk and Yona drinks since I couldn't decide between them. Hawk's drink was a butterfly pea tea mixed with blue curacao syrup, lychee syrup,
Yeah, it's
soda
very
water,
different
and
flavor
mint.
profile.
I didn't really like this one. It had a funky aftertaste. Yona's drink had acerola juice, black tea, grenadine syrup, and blackcurrant sorbet, which was very sweet, but I liked it a lot more than Hawk's drink. And
That's
Sam
sad.
ordered Suwon's drink, which had milk, blueberry syrup, blueberries, blueberry sauce, and whipped cream.
That sounds
My main
good.
dish was the mapo tofu rice bowl.
Mapo
which was
tofu!
a regular
That is my
plate of
favorite
mapo tofu
Chinese
over white
dish.
rice.
So
The dish presentation really doesn't have
Mapo
much
tofu
going
is
on.
so
Not even
good.
like a little paper freebie to go with it or anything. But luckily, it tasted delicious.
yeah,
As a savory food enjoyer, this actually hit the spot.
nice.
Sam ordered Yoon's special rice porridge set, which came packed with veggies. And again, As simple as the presentation was, Sam really enjoyed it and said it tasted like nostalgic home cooking. For dessert, we shared the Tukyu tail plate, which was a small assortment of
Like
sweets
a lot of Japanese
themed after
dishes.
Owl the squirrel. There was a cafe latte
Gotcha.
roll cake for his tail, acorn-shaped mini cakes, salted caramel cakes, and strawberry brownies. There were 2 of everything, so it was a
Yee.
perfect shareable dessert.
What
between
box
us.
did you get?
And
Oh,
to
look
our
at the little
surprise,
squirrel.
All the cakes were super moist,
Little
delicious,
acorn.
and best of all, not too sweet. The last thing I tried was the 4 Dragons almond tofu, which was almond tofu covered in 4 different flavored jellies to represent each of the dragons, and a scoop of Cass's sorbet in the middle to represent Yona. I'm usually not a big fan of jelly-heavy desserts, but this was actually really good. The tangy Cass's sorbet paired really nicely with the light creamy almond tofu. We received a free coaster for every collab
Quickly,
item we
to
ordered,
the
and
attic
a
with it.
random paper freebie for every 3,000 yen that
The
was
acorn,
spent.
yes.
The cafe had a small
needs to
selection
go.
of merch with the usual acrylic stands of the Collab Cafe artwork, postcards, and a tote bag, but I ended up not getting anything. Overall,
sad.
while the presentation of everything was a smidge underwhelming aside from the desserts, taste-wise, we were very satisfied, which, considering how
So
these collab
4.5?
cafes normally go, was an impressive feat. I give Yona of the Dawn a 4.4 out of 5.
There we go.
Number 4, Sailor Moon at Marble Gallery Cafe. To commemorate their 10-year anniversary, the official Sailor Moon fan club had their very own collab cafe in Tokyo during the winter, so I went with Giri. For our reservation, we received these free gorgeous plastic placemats. And for our first drinks, we both ordered the
Ooh.
Super Sailor Moon Rainbow Jelly drink, which was a layered jelly drink with whipped cream and candy hearts. Since the entire thing was just jelly and whipped cream, it was a little difficult to drink with the straws provided. And it honestly didn't taste like much. We were kind of just baited by the pretty colors and cute presentation. For my second drink, I ordered Usagi and Mamoru's Black Lemon Jasmine Tea. The drink itself was inspired by Mamoru, with the pink sugar crystals coating the rim inspired by Usagi. This was deliciously sweet and tart, and felt very fancy to drink, especially with the golden shimmer at the top of the drink.
That's really pretty.
And now for the main dish. Giri and I both ordered the Sailor Guardian's Christmas plate. This was a very underwhelming looking plate that included a very bland carbonara pasta, a slice of brie cheese with a sliced tomato,
What?
salad, cold corn soup, and 2 saltine crackers topped with whipped cream and a single blueberry. This plate didn't feel very Christmassy, nor did it feel very Sailor Guardian inspired, aside from the color-coded sides. And it tasted extremely bland and low effort. We
What
did
the
end
fuck?
up finishing it, not because we liked it, but because this plate was a whopping 2,500 yen. The
Whoa!
first section had mostly holographic file folders, postcards, and acrylic coasters featuring scenes of Usagi and Mamoru kissing. And I ended up purchasing a couple of the holographic file folders. The manga art decorating the walls of the cafe were beautiful, and the vibes felt very princessy. But sadly, we both felt immensely disappointed by the Christmas plate, especially considering its very high price point, even for a collab cafe.
Yep.
I'm gonna give Sailor Moon Cafe a 2.5 out of 5. Number 5, Monica Magica at Box Cafe in Space.
Oh,
Back
I think
in December, Box Cafe in Space collaborated
think
with
she's
Monica
done
Magica
Box
on
Cafe
a collab
before.
cafe based on the very wholesome concept of a girls' party, complete with promo art of the girls in very cute formal wear. And for this cafe, I brought along my friend Emily B for our very own girls' party. With our
Emily
reservation, we
B.
received a shimmery invitation postcard with a random character inside. We got Mommy and Cube in one card and the whole cast of characters in the other. So to start, we ordered 2 donuts. Madoka's My Best Friend Pink Dream Donut and Homura's I Won't Rely on Anyone Anymore Black Memory Donut. Both donuts were super cute, but also very dense and dry and overall unpleasant to swallow. They also didn't have much flavor to them, aside from the sweet icing and toppings that they came with.
Yeah.
For our drinks, we ordered Kyoko's Blooming Apple Drink and Madoka's Dreamy Peach Soda.
That one looks
We
really
enjoyed
good.
these, so I have no notes. They did have a lot of ice, but that's pretty typical for collab cafe drinks. For the main dish, we decided to share Cube's I Don't
Oh, that
Understand
Cube
cream
face.
pasta, which was a cold tomato pasta with a cold cream sauce made to look like Cube's face. This felt
Yeah,
less
the
like a
whipped
sauce
cream with the
and more
blueberry
like
saltines
a
was pretty
super foamy
crazy.
milk, and the tomato sauce underneath was super thin, so it was this very watery combination with an overwhelmingly milky
It does
flavor.
not look good.
We really did not like this. It was cute,
Yeah.
but we didn't like it.
Yeah.
And lastly, for dessert, we shared the Nighttime Play French Toast, which was a dessert
That face
inspired
looks like
by
yours.
the main antagonist in the Madoka Magica series. This was served with whipped cream, frozen berries, an intricate powdered sugar design on the plate, and a blue sauce with such intense coloring, it came with a warning about its staining powers. The flavor of this dessert wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it was definitely nothing like French toast. It was more like cold slices of bread with sweet toppings. We, unfortunately, did not care for this either. The merch section had a postcard set, can badges, acrylic keychains, and acrylic stands of each character. Just the usual merch you'd find at a typical collab cafe. The presentation of everything was super cute and on theme, but overall, I'd say the food was not worth it at all. As much as I'd like to say we might have just ordered the wrong thing, the Magical Girl sandwich that we passed on didn't really look any more promising.
No, oh my god.
Madoka Magica Cafe gets a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, that's sad.
Number 6, Chopper's Cafe.
Chopper's Cafe!
One Piece? Again?
Yay.
Yeah, One Piece shows up twice this video, but the Tony Chopper Cafe was so damn cute, I had to give it its own
so cute
spot.
looking, I love it.
And joining me once again is my friend Manu.
Manu.
The club was at the Box Cafe in Space at Shibuya 109.
Yeah,
and
see
right away,
Box.
I was taken by how adorable the promo art was. His cute chibi-fied face was on the tables and on the walls in the form of posters, which were unfortunately not available for purchase at the merch shop. Much to Manu's dismay.
He's too small to activate the sensors. He can't come in. Look how sad he is.
He's so cute.
Like the lo-fi coffee chopper is like so wholesome for no reason.
With our reservation, we each received a free sticker sheet. All of the
That's
drinks
cute.
and desserts were based off of Chopper's favorite food, cotton candy, so lots of sugar incoming. Manu ordered Chopper's Climbing Lemonade, which was an iced lemonade with a cute little chopper climbing a stick of cotton candy, and you had the option of eating the cotton candy on its own or mixing it into the lemonade, but the lemonade itself was already pretty sweet. I ordered the fluffy and chewy caramel milk, which was the same deal as the lemonade. There was a big mound of cotton candy at the top that Chopper was standing on, and
I love
you could
the
eat it by
Chopper's
itself
on.
or mix it in the drink. But again, the caramel milk was already super sweet on its own.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've eaten cotton candy in like 10 years. Look at this ball.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pause it. Let me bring you guys. No! I'm breaking the computer again. Okay, hang on.
I'll take the other one.
Why is OBS doing
You don't have a
this?
favorite? I think the chubby one's pretty cute.
No! What's happening? I just wanted to move OBS! Why? Why? Why, computer? I wonder if you guys can even hear me. I don't know what's going on. Let me bring up Twitch on my phone. Hang on. Tweet you. Yeah, I'm just... Ah, what the fuck? It's not OBS that is dying, it is my computer. Like, it is just freezing. I don't understand what's happening. Tora, it is not okay for it to be the...
If you want it, you can take it.
It is not okay for my computer to be RAP. I just got this PC. Alright, I think I'm back. I don't know what's happening and why it's doing this. But yeah, this PC is, like, fairly new. I don't understand what's going on. Yeah. You guys weren't able to, besides me, you weren't able to hear anything, so. Yeah.
I'll give it to you. It's the cuter one. I'll take this one.
Yay, thank you.
I'll take Dabbing Chopper.
The first savory dish we ordered and shared was Chopper's white curry rice, which was a plate of rice shaped to look like Chopper's face, with sliced meat patty for his horns and a stencil dusting of cocoa powder for his name. This came with a side of white cream curry that you could pour over the rice, and we actually really liked this dish.
Yay!
It was super cute, flavorful, and we ended up killing off the entire plate. The second thing we shared was Chopper's hide-and-seek omelet rice. This was a classic cafe omelet rice with
That one looks
adorable
cute.
little cocoa powder hoof prints leading to a little hiding Chopper. This was also pretty good. The egg was cooked really nicely, especially compared to other Collab Cafe omelet rice eggs that I've tried in the past. And there was some actual good ketchupy flavor to the rice. And we ended up completely cleaning this plate off too. And as if the drinks weren't sugary enough, we ended up ordering both desserts. The first one being Chopper's Treasure Hunt Parfait, which arrived under a giant pile of more cotton candy. Once we poured the provided sweet syrup over it, it revealed a treasure of cereal flakes, crumbled biscuits, diced fruit, diced jelly, almond tofu, and chocolate pearls. It had a lot going on, but this one was surprisingly not bad, actually. The jelly itself didn't really taste like anything, and even though it had a lot going on, the combination of everything didn't make it too sweet, and the cereal and chocolate pearls added a really nice crunchy texture. We ended up completely ignoring the cotton candy mound, but I'm pretty sure that was more for display purposes anyway. And the last dessert we tried was Chopper's Reward Pancakes, which was a
so
sweet
cute.
pancake covered in cream, diced fruit, chocolate pearls, caramel sauce, and of course, Chopper's favorite,
Yep.
a stick of cotton candy. Again, to our surprise, the pancake wasn't too sweet. It wasn't really a pancake, more like a fluffy cake made to look like a pancake, which I think is preferable. And the further we dug our forks inside, we discovered custard cream, bananas, Oreo cookies, and chocolate ice cream.
Oh, that
This was
sounds
pretty good. But again, we opted to not eat the extra cotton candy. There was a small selection of merch, like mini
I would
acrylic
have to get the
stands,
little acrylic
keychains,
stands.
badges, and the cutest piece of merch we saw was a mug with a sleeping Chopper on the front,
Oh,
which, unfortunately for Manu, was completely sold out.
no.
They also had on display some upcoming plushies using
Oh,
the
no way.
adorable design from the Collab Cafe
Go away
art.
thing.
Despite the inevitable sugar crash this cafe was sending us on, we thought they did a fantastic job with the presentation and taste of the menu as a whole. Plus, extra points for the cute factor. Tony Chopper Cafe gets a 4.7 out of 5.
Nice.
Number 7, Oron High School Host Club.
What?
One thing you need to know about Oron High School Host Club fans is that they don't mess around when it comes to collab cafes. The very first Oron collab I went to several years ago was an extremely intense first-come, first-served reservation experience, and this one was no different. And you know what? I totally understand why. The main cast all look incredible in the cafe promo art. Luckily for me, though, years of reservation sniping had prepared me for this, and I managed to go twice to try out their rotating menu.
Nice.
For the first visit, I brought my friend Emily B, and for the second, I brought Sam. And for both visits, I of course had to bring my little Kyoya Nui plush along for the ride. Unfortunately, video recording was not permitted in the store, so this is all gonna be pictures aside from like one clip. For each reservation, we received one paper freebie of a random character, and each dish came with a little extra paper freebie of the manga panel that inspired it.
Nice.
So the first thing Emily B ordered was Haruhi's special udon noodles, inspired by the hot pot that the host club members ate at Haruhi's house. This udon had a nice, simple miso flavor, and neither of us had any complaints about it. I ordered
looks
the
good.
Hitachin Brothers Casada with maple syrup. So I'm not familiar with the Italian cake that inspired this dessert, so I asked Emily for her professional baking opinion on the taste, and she said it tasted a lot more like fake cream more than anything. Kind of similar to a block of Cool Whip. So this was definitely our least favorite item.
That's sad.
I ordered Kyoya Senpai's spicy chicken, which was
Yeah.
inspired by Kyoya, who loves spicy food. These wings were super tiny, but they were also really juicy and full of flavor.
Nice.
There was a pretty cool selection of merch you could order from the same tablet you order the food from, and I ended up getting an acrylic keychain with Kyoya and Tamaki, a postcard set, a blind bag acrylic coaster, a file folder set with both Kyoya and the main cafe promo art, and an acrylic photo case for displaying photo cards. And speaking of
Nice.
photo cards, there was a woman sitting next to us who saw me taking pictures of my Kyoya Nui, and she very kindly gave me the Kyoya clear card that she'd randomly pulled. This is the kind
Aw,
of stuff that
yeah.
keeps me going to these collab cafes. We received a coaster for each item we ordered, and for every 4,400 yen that was spent, we received a free paper bookmark of a random character. Okay, now for the second visit.
Oh, he's so
This
cute in
time
his
I
little
went with
pouch.
Sam, who brought along her Mori plush to match with my Kyria
Ah,
plush.
nice.
This time, I ordered Tamaki-senpai's commoner pudding, which came with a side of brown sugar syrup. Given the name, I sort of figured it would taste like pudding from the convenience store, but Sam said even kombini pudding tasted better than this, so who knows if even Tamaki would enjoy it. It's also pretty expensive for the quality of pudding you get.
That's sad.
Sam ordered Mori-senpai's secret Japanese matcha cake, which was a Japanese-style matcha cake with whipped cream and a ring of caramel sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't try this, but Sam said that she really liked this dessert and the fact that she could actually taste the matcha. She
Nice.
also ordered the dim sum party assortment, which was inspired
Dim
by the
sum
dim sum that Honey and Roy were
paradise.
served during their last business meeting before graduation. Sam said this was okay. Out of everything, she liked the shrimp dumplings the most. And lastly, I ordered Tamaki-senpai's Royal Galette. This was inspired by Tamaki, who's half French, and this very simple galette came topped with fried egg and shredded cheese. I would have liked the cheese to be a little more melted, like how it looked in the picture, but it was still a decent meal, and I liked that the fried egg was still ooey gooey in the middle. These
Yeah, that
are
seems
the
a little
coasters we
weird.
received for everything that was ordered, and after we checked out, we got super lucky and ended up getting our favorite characters for the paper bookmark freebies. In all
Nice.
honesty, this cafe was probably the least offensive out of all the Hakusensha licensed cafes I've been to, which is saying something. Oran Cafe gets a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Number 8, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh
I'll
no.
be honest, I tend to avoid going to collabs at Tree Village Cafe because the quality is usually not the best. But when this cafe announcement first dropped, I received so many requests asking me to give it a visit.
Oh, I
No
see.
FNAF even had a big enough presence in Japan for this
Oh, yeah.
cafe to exist, and I wasn't counting on it getting any other cafe collaborations anytime soon, so I decided to give it a try, and the willing victim for this excursion was Dango Heart Animation. Unfortunately for us, when we got there, they had completely sold out of the two items we wanted to try the most, which were Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and Chica's Cake.
What?
Okay, I get why Freddy's Pizza sold out, but how did Chica's Cake sell out so fast? You know what? Forget I asked. I instead ordered Chica's tomato pasta, which tasted like normal tomato pasta, which by collab cafe standards, especially Tree Village Cafe, means it was fantastic. It was nice and hot, the sauce was sweet and savory, it was also almost $12, but hey, we take the wins where we can get them. Dango
Wow.
ordered Balloon Boy's Strawberry Ole, which was just milk with strawberry sauce and diced strawberries. And I got a hot character latte. Since we couldn't get Chica's Cake, we instead went for Foxy's Pancakes, which came with whipped cream, strawberry sauce, and star-shaped jellies around the outside. And while I personally did not find this dessert to be enjoyable because it was cold and squishy, Dango seemed to really like it.
How's the
This
pink?
one is really nice.
What?
Sorry? What's the laugh? No, it's really good. What? Maybe I haven't tried much pancakes, but this one's really good. Like the cream.
I love that.
Dango also ordered Freddy's Burger, which had what looked to be like a teriyaki burger patty inside. And the first thing we noticed about it was that it was weirdly difficult to cut into because the bottom bun was kind of hard and stale. So I was not impressed by this burger, especially given the price. But Dango seemed to really be into it, and at this point, I'm convinced this man will be happy to eat literally anything.
So, out of 5, what would you rate your second ever collab cafe, Dan?
Ho, ho. I don't know. I mean, I love it. 10 out of 10? No, I love it. I really enjoy it so far.
Most of the merch in the
Aw.
merch corner was completely sold
Whoa.
out, but it looked like there was a pretty big selection. One of the more interesting items were these plushies of the animatronics that had removable magnetic limbs.
What the
And
fuck?
in the corner of the merch store, there were cardboard standees of the animatronics. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know how to
Yeah.
score this cafe.
No.
Because it's very clear Dango and I had very different opinions on the experience as a whole. And we didn't even get to try the main highlight of the menu. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. Question mark out of 5? Whatever, these scores don't matter anyway. Number 9, Sonic and Friends at And Gallery Cafe.
Oh, it's so
So
cute.
apparently, Sega has an animated children's web series called Sonic and Friends, featuring an ultra-cute chibi-fied version of the main cast. And
Aw.
they recently got their very own pop-up collab cafe. I've never had a Sonic phase, but the promo art was so
Okay, good. The
cute,
chat's
I
still
had
working.
to go. And joining me is Mayu, who is a massive Sonic fan. More specifically, a huge Shadow fan. And
Oh
a
no.
group of 4. I'm pretty sure video recording was not allowed at the time that I went, so let's get through these pictures real quick. First, we had the microscopic adventure hamburger.
Oh my
A
god!
hamburger patty with cheese, potato wedges, bell peppers,
I love him!
broccoli, and tomato sauce made to look like Dr. Eggman.
I
I
love
wasn't
it.
the one who ordered this, so I actually have no idea if it was good, but the person who did completely finished it, so I'm assuming probably.
Yep.
I ordered the Let's Go See the Shooting Stars omelet curry. This was a chicken omurice over masala black curry, star-shaped carrots, potato salad, and a little paper image of Sonic and his friends stargazing. This was pretty tasty. The curry sauce had a really intense flavor and also an excellent rice to curry sauce ratio.
Nice.
I also ordered the Amy character parfait, which came with a
Oh,
thin
it's so
layer of
cute.
sponge cake, fruits, blue jelly, whipped cream, a scoop of vanilla ice cream, and strawberry sauce. For my drink, I ordered the Amy Rose drink, which had soda water with strawberry syrup, rose syrup, whipped cream, and rose petals.
Nice.
Mayu ended up ordering the shadow pancakes, which
course.
came with a side of chocolate sauce and more of that whipped cream and blue jelly combo. I personally didn't eat any of this, but Mayu said that the pancakes were very dry and very mediocre.
Oh,
For
that's
dessert, our
sad.
table shared the donut plate, which came with 5 decorated donuts. I'm not sure if this was supposed to represent the Sonic rings or the colors of the Sonic and Friends cast,
I think
but
that's what it's supposed to
I do know
be.
is that these donuts were nasty.
Oh,
Sort of giving me flashbacks to the terrible free-run donuts from the last Collab Cafe video I
oh
made.
no.
These donuts were dry and tasteless. These donuts tasted like the bread that you get served in an airplane. So, word of advice, if you ever see donuts on a Collab Cafe menu,
Don't
do
get the
yourself a
donuts.
favor and get donuts literally anywhere else. We each received a random postcard with our reservation and a free coaster for every item that was ordered. On the plus side, the merch section had a really cool lineup of goods with stuff I wasn't used to seeing, like character
Aw,
slippers, mini
the
pouches,
slippers
and
are so
hand
cute.
towels. And they also had the usual acrylic stands, clear trading cards, and badges, which were all completely gotcha.
Of
This
course.
cafe, while extremely cute, felt very hit or miss, and that donut
Yeah.
plate was so offensive, it is unfortunately the one thing really sticking out to me from this experience. I asked Mayu what her thoughts were since she went a few more times after this, and she agreed that as a whole, the food was not great. But during one of her visits, they actually brought out the Sonic mascots to interact with the customers, which is super cool. So she would give the cafe either a 3 or 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with 3 out of 5. Number 10.
It is super
Pom Pom
cute.
Puddin' at Box Cafe in Space. When I
Pom
first
Pom
heard the news that
Puddin'.
Pom Pom Puddin's cafe in Harajuku was going to permanently close, I was aghast. During his victory year, the interior was so cute. The menu was so cute. The uniforms were so cute. How could they do this to him? And so, I accepted the fact that I wouldn't get to eat Pom Pom Puddin' shaped food ever again. Until Box Cafe in Space came out with their collab to celebrate his 30th anniversary. For this super cute collab, I was once again joined by Giri at the Box Cafe in Space at Shibuya 109. For our reservation freebie, we received a super cute Pom Pom Puddin' file folder.
That is really cute.
For her drink, Giri ordered the Pom Pom Puddin' fruit milk, which was an iced mango fruit milk with a little chocolate beret at the top. I got the Happy Peaceful Lemonade, which was a grapefruit flavored iced lemonade with a little sleepy Pom Pom Puddin'. These
That's
were
super
pretty
cute.
good, but it was all downhill from here.
Oh
The
no.
Munching Cheeseburger was available in a single, double, or triple, so Giri opted for a double cheeseburger. This burger looked so cute, and the little mushroom cap beret was
Yeah.
so cute. But sadly, the
Ren.
taste of the burger was not good. The
Aw.
patties had this sort of like super soft and squishy texture, and I think it might have been made entirely out of pork because it also didn't taste anything like a burger. And the pickles she received on the side were 4 itty-bitty pieces of bell pepper. And worst
That's
of
so
all,
bizarre.
the fries were bland and unseasoned.
No.
We shared the butthole keema curry, made to look like Pom Pom Puddin' hiding in the grass, booty out.
Oh my
And they
goodness.
filled his butt with keema curry. I know it makes it look a little like
Doing
poop,
good.
which I don't think was the intended imagery, but the idea
How about
definitely
you?
crossed our minds. Honestly, the flavor of this
We're having some
wasn't
tech
too bad.
issues today,
Our
apparently.
only issue
but-
with it was that it felt like there wasn't nearly enough curry or curry flavor for how much rice there was.
Yeah, I can
And
see
for
that.
my dish, I ordered the heartwarming stew, which was a brown stew with veggies, chunks of bread, and cheese. Similarly to the burger, this was a really adorable dish that unfortunately lacked any semblance of flavor and
Aw.
had barely any stew for how much rice there was. We totally
That
forgot to
sucks.
order dessert, and Box Cafe in Space unfortunately has a policy where once you submit your QR code to order once, you can't order anything else afterwards. Considering
What?
how our burger and stew tasted, maybe this was a blessing in disguise. Most
That's
of the
such
merch was
bizarre-
completely sold
so
out,
bizarre
but
to
I
me.
managed to check out with this very adorable pom pom pudding plate. I think it goes without saying, but the presentation did a lot of heavy lifting for this cafe, and Gary and
Yeah.
I were sadly very disappointed by the taste of our main dishes. I think it was still worth it since we're both big pom pom pudding fans, but after asking Gary her thoughts, we both agreed we'd probably rate it 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Number 11, Arena Tanamura at Animate Cafe. This one in particular is kind of a full circle moment for me. Arena Tanamura is one of the earliest mangaka to influence my art journey when I was just a child. Those big, sparkly, teary 2000s shoujo eyes were everything to me. And if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you might remember that the very first collab cafe I ever went to was an Arena Tanamura pop-up cafe. Back when I first moved to Japan 4 years ago and didn't know how to film anything properly. Jesus Christ, slow down, I can't see anything, Emily! It's officially been 30
Oh, I
years
love
since
it.
she made her professional debut, and to commemorate the milestone, there was an Arena Tanamura exhibit
Climbed
and
into the
a
carriage
pop-up
attic
cafe
and
at
threw out
Animate.
dusty old tires.
I went
Ugh.
with my friend Ocean in Space, who was
Yes,
also a fellow
Ocean!
Arena Tanamura fan and
Yay.
shoujo manga enthusiast. And she basically traveled overseas for this one event, so I was crossing my fingers and hoping it was a good experience. Just like with the Oran Cafe and Sonic Cafe, video recording wasn't permitted in this store,
No.
so we're gonna have to deal with pictures for now. For our drinks, Ocean ordered the Kamikaze Kaito-jan Pure Heart drink, which was hot milk with blue syrup and dried strawberries. She said this sort of just tasted like what it sounds like, hot sweet milk. I ordered the Gentleman's Alliance Happy End drink, which was a butterfly peat tea with blue syrup and mochi balls at the bottom. For my main dish, I ordered Heine's Classic Saturday Curry, which tasted very good. This was a perfect ratio of rice to curry, and it tasted very cozy and satisfyingly savory. Ocean ordered the Sakura Hime Ochazuke, which was a rice, salmon, and mushroom ochazuke served with a side of pickled sakura radish and simmered chicken and vegetables and dashi broth.
That sounds really
I
good.
didn't end up trying any of it, but it looked delicious, and Ocean seemed to really enjoy it. And lastly, for dessert, we both ordered the Full Moon Osagashite Takuto Parfait, which had pudding, agar-agar, fruit cocktail, cornflakes, whipped cream, a mini taiyaki, and a scoop of milk ice cream.
Yeah,
made to
sometimes they
look like
do, yeah.
Takuto's adorable little face. And also a side of black syrup, which I ended up not using because the parfait was sweet enough on its own for me.
Yep.
We both really enjoyed this dessert. The merch section had a very small selection of acrylic stands, blind bag badges, and blind bag acrylic charms. I ended up not getting anything because I was saving myself and my wallet for the merch section of the exhibition that we were going to afterwards, which, by the way, was incredible. Okay, quick side tangent. Getting to see Arena Tanamura's traditional work up close in one exhibit was an actual childhood dream come true.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really put into perspective
Exactly,
how
Ren.
much detail and skill went into a single manga page. Getting to see the original Volume 1 cover art of Full Moon Osagashite was like looking at the Mona Lisa. Anyways, you get it. I love manga exhibits. This has nothing to do with the cafe score. I just need to gush about how cool this was.
Yep.
The
I
cafe
was-
food was better than we'd expected, and
I-
the presentation and atmosphere were
I follow Ocean, so like whenever they actually went to this, she was like live Instagram posting about it and like showing all the cool like detailed shots of seeing the traditional art up close, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
were pretty simple, but overall, this was a pretty solid collab. 4.3 out of 5.
Makes sense.
Before the 12th and final cafe,
Posture
I'm going
check,
to go
gotcha.
through 2 honorable mentions. Earlier this year, Evangelion hit its 30th anniversary, and for a limited time, Roppongi Hills Mori Tower held an exhibition displaying an impressive collection of original production materials and art from the anime. And coinciding with this exhibit was, of course, a collab cafe. So for this outing, I took Didas with me since he's a big Eva fan. The exhibition opened with a large-scale figure of Ava Unit 1 and a wall displaying the blueprints and concept sketches used during the anime's production. Once we received our exclusive paper freebies and entered the actual exhibit, we got to see 270 original cells from the anime,
That's so
storyboards,
cool.
and hand-drawn original
Like,
drawings.
I'm not a
and
big
sketches.
Ava fan, but
It
like
was
this kind of
incredible
stuff
getting
is
to see so much
really
art
fucking
and 30
cool.
years of iconic anime history in one exhibit. But now you might be wondering, did the cafe match its excellence? No, not really. Not even close. The Asuka and Ray drinks that we ordered were fine. We really didn't have much of an opinion on the taste, but I liked that the colors really suited the both of them. Didas's burger, as cool as it looked, was unfortunately not very good, especially because, like the Pom Pom Punin one, the burger patty was very squishy and didn't taste anything like a burger. I actually really liked my seafood tomato pasta, but when I told Didas I thought it was good, he said, "You have very low standards for spaghetti," which is probably true. Dessert was fine. The oranges had this weird bitter sauce covering them, and the blue jelly didn't really do anything
Yeah.
for the chiffon cake, but it was fine. The view was great, the food was eh. This is in the honorable mentions because between how amazing the exhibit was and how lukewarm we felt about the cafe, I didn't know how to rate it properly. The cafe itself was probably like a 2 out of 5, I don't know. Next honorable mention is Mini Teen Cafe at Box Cafe and Space in Omotesando. This cafe was based on the official characters for the 13-member K-pop boy band 17, and my friend Cow actually put me on them last year. I actually had no intention of adding this to my Collab Cafe compilation because I don't really know enough about the group and their characters, and it was just supposed to be a casual cafe outing with Kyle. But the presentation and taste of everything impressed me so much, I decided to give it a spot in the honorable mentions. The menu was themed after a party, so we had stuff like a present box sandwich with a salad party popper, curry
That's really
served with
cute.
rice shaped like party balloons, a waffle cone and cotton candy dessert made to look like a party hat with a surprise of ice cream and candy pieces underneath, and
That's
a
really
fruit and jelly
cute.
parfait topped with a mini sponge cake. Everything was so cute and tasty. I thoroughly enjoyed my time at this cafe.
See, I don't know anything
And
about
now
this
for the
band, but I would
12th
want to
and
eat there because
final
like that looks
cafe
so
of this
fucking
video.
aesthetic.
Number 12, Bon Pop-Up Cafe.
There was a
at
Bond
10 Cups.
Cafe.
If I had a nickel for every time a friend opened their own pop-up collab cafe,
I
I
have
had
two
two
nickels.
nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yep.
So last year, Gart released his anime short film Bon, which follows Rin and Daichi and their separate struggles with
That's
the growing
super proper
pains of
effort,
moving away
yeah.
from home in search of independence. I had the pleasure of watching the premiere of this on the big screen in Tokyo, and it moved me to tears. So I was super excited when Gart mentioned he was planning a collab cafe for it.
Collab
The
Cafe.
Cafe was a one-day ticketed event, and Didas and I went to the earliest available
Oh, I hope
time
they had
slot.
good
This
food
event was
then.
fittingly held at 10 Cups, which is a cafe and cocktail bar inspired by the flavors of Southeast Asia. It was nice and spacious inside, and the Bond short film played on the wall in its entirety throughout the day. And near the ordering line, there was a small display of Bond fan art goods and some official merch in collaboration with the artist Omona.
Yay,
So the collab
Omona.
menu had 3 items.
Yay.
The first was a drink called Portal to Another World, inspired by the portal that serves as a bridge between Rin's fantasy home of Euthania and current Japan. This was a refreshing watermelon and pandan mocktail. And fun fact, the idea for this drink apparently came from yours truly. After the Bond premiere back in August, when Gart first mentioned the Collab Cafe idea, I was like, oh, what if you had a layered drink that looked like the colors of the travel portal? And he was like, you know what? I'm taking that. And thus, this delicious summer drink was born.
Yay.
The dessert item was called Wings of Euthania, which was a coconut milk dessert with peaches and multicolored jellies. This was also super refreshing, and best of all, say it with me now, not too sweet.
Yay.
And the main highlight of the menu was Daichi's curry, which was taken directly from the Bond short. And also, fun fact, was actually based off of Garnt's mother's own recipe for her Penang curry.
Aw.
So in a way, you were getting a taste of home in both ways, which I thought was very thoughtful and fitting for the theme.
That's really
I
cool.
think the fact that this was hosted at a cafe that specialized in Southeast Asian cuisine rather than a typical collab cafe venue made it pretty much guaranteed to have
Why did that
legit
make me
tasting
tear up?
food.
Like, what the
If the
fuck?
main goal was to have it taste like home to match the theme of the film, then I think it was achieved wonderfully. If I had to make any notes, I think it would have been nice to have a coaster with each reservation or just some kind of event freebie for people
Yeah.
to take home, since that's typical for most collab cafes. But that's about it. Vaughn's one-day collab cafe gets a 4.9 out of 5.
Friendship
Also, quick
bonus.
side note, I came back to 10 Cups on a normal day a few weeks later to try their lunch menu, and it was really good.
Nice.
We did it! 12 cafes and a few extras. Unfortunately,
Nice.
quite a few misses this time around. But hey,
Yeah.
I gave them a try. And that means I can take a long-deserved break from going to the... Oh my god, they announced a Love and Deep Space Collab Cafe!
Oh my god.